College football returns next month, and everybody's talking about who would be some of the most surprised teams in college football. To me, I think one of the most underrated teams in college football this season is North Carolina State. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you why I think North Carolina State will make the college football playoffs this season. So let's go ahead and get into it. When you look at NC State, last season they won 9 games despite very inconsistent quarterback play. And now they have a much, much better quarterback on their roster right now. And that is quarterback Grayson McCall. He's a transfer from Coastal Carolina. He was phenomenal with the Chanticleers. McCall won the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year 2020, 2021, and 2022. That is absolutely unheard of to win 3 straight seasons. Throughout his collegiate career, he's thrown for 10,000 yards, 88 touchdowns, just 14 interceptions. His completion percentage is 70%. He also has 1,100 rushing yards as well to go along with 18 rushing touchdowns. In 2020, 2022, he had 78 touchdowns with just 8 interceptions. That is an incredible touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, you can't even get that on video games sometimes. This past season for Coastal Carolina, he only played in 7 games due to an injury, and he had a new head coach with Jamie Chadwell leaving for Liberty. So his production took a little bit of a hit here with a new head coach. He had 1,900 passing yards going along with 10 touchdowns and 6 picks in 7 games. So when you look at his production the first 3 years, it's very hard for him to get better production, but his production took a little bit of a hit this past season. But this is a great quarterback for NC State. They've been needing a consistent quarterback, and McCall is that answer right there. I think he's going to be great for this NC State offense, and I really think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in college football. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in college football, and I think he's been severely underrated throughout his entire collegiate career. Another reason why I think NC State will make the playoffs is because of their transfer portal moves. Obviously, the biggest headliner move is them getting Grayson McCall, but they've also added a couple of big players as well. They bring in former Duke running back Jordan Waters. This past season, Waters had 153 attempts for over 800 rushing yards. He averaged over 5 yards per carry to go along with 12 rushing touchdowns. When you bring Waters to the mix for NC State, he would have led the Wolfpack in rushing yards last season. So you get a great quarterback in McCall, you get a very good running back in Waters, and they get even more help, this time to the wide receiver position. They bring in Wesley Grimes, the former Wake Forest wide receiver. A year ago, he had 20 receptions for 339 yards and 4 touchdowns. So 20% of his catches are touchdowns, and he averaged over 15 yards per reception. That is very, very good. And that's another transfer portal move that NC State has made in the offseason. And when you look at the Wolfpack, their wide receiver depth was absolutely terrible last season. You look at their wide receiver, Kevin Concepcion, he had 70 receptions for over 800 yards. There was not another receiver on this Wolfpack offense a year ago that had more than 250 receiving yards. That is absolutely unheard of. So in a transfer portal, you get a starting running back, you get a starting quarterback, and you add a wide receiver that you desperately need to this wide receiver group. NC State has made so much moves in a transfer portal this season, and I think it's going to be one of the reasons why they have so much success this year. The third and final reason why I think North Carolina State will make the college football playoffs this season is because of their easy schedule. They avoid playing Louisville, and they avoid playing Florida State, both teams who won the ACC championship game a year ago. They also avoid Virginia Tech, a team who I am very, very high on this season. When you look at their ACC opponents, the only game that really stands out is a September matchup against Clemson, and they have a non-conference game in Charlotte against Tennessee. Tennessee and Clemson are 2 teams that are ranked very high, but aside from that, they don't really play anybody great. Even if there's a situation where NC State loses both of these games, after that Clemson game, they still have 8 games left. So if they run a table, depending how other teams perform, there's still a very, very small chance, but it is possible NC State can make the college football playoffs with 2 losses. You also look at the fact that when you look at NC State's schedule, they don't play anybody great at home, and they are phenomenal at home. Their last 24 home games, they are 21-3. There's a situation where even North Carolina State even hosts the ACC championship game. Regardless of who it is, they have a very good chance of winning because they are nearly unbeatable at home. So when you look at the fact that NC State has a very, very manageable schedule of winning some of the top teams in their conference, that had some amazing, moves in the transfer portal, getting star quarterback Grayson McCall, getting running back Jordan Waters, and getting some wide receiver help as well. I really think North Carolina State could be a team that will surprise a lot of people this year, and I really think they could shock a lot of people and make the college football playoffs this upcoming season. But that about does it for this video. If you're new to my channel or you've seen videos before, make sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time on the Sports Dude Hines Show.